Yeah, I was driving with my son taking a look at a property this week and great property, man, great location. But I wanted to share this because my son, when we were driving through the property, really clean, Class A property, I was telling him, I was like, hey, this is a great property. What do you think? That's something that we do because he's on my acquisition side. And he's like, love it, things like that. The landscaping, everything looks really good. The location is great. Like it's probably a better location than anything else we looked at. And he was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Well, the problem is that this property is probably about 75% four bedrooms, like out of all these units." And it was a smaller property. We just, I shop real estate everywhere I go, big, small, but this was like a 50 unit deal. So he was like, "Is that good or bad?" And I was like, "Dude, that could be good, but that primarily bad in my opinion because number one, and I'm sharing this with you guys because when you think about investing in a deal, whether you're doing it by yourself or you're dealing with a fund manager or a syndicator like myself, like there's things you got to look at. Four bedrooms, like being almost 80% four bedrooms in a property of that size means a couple of different things. Number one, you have a lot of families living in there. And if you have families, you got maybe a mom, you got a husband and wife, and you also have kids, which means that during that time, you're going to have a lot of showers, a lot of dishwashing, kids getting in and out of the bathtub, running the water, brushing their teeth, running around. There's a lot of not deferred maintenance because it looked good, but there could be a lot of maintenance issues. I mean, people, kids doing their stuff, and very high traffic, like in those type of properties. So you got to know that, right? From a asset management situation where you're picking a deal, they'd be like, hey, what can go wrong here? How can we lose money? Well, we have people moving out, kids getting older, they want to be in a better school district, or we have people that's moving out, the kids didn't get along, we got high traffic areas, the kids are inviting their friends from other places, we got problems in the parking lot. Like all these things happen, right, when you're managing a property like that, because again, you're keeping a roof over that situation, 50 families head times probably four, which means that you got about 200 to 250 people living in that property, right? On that one site. So when I was telling my son that that's important, he's like, "Oh, I didn't really think about that." I'm like, "Yeah, man, like these are all the little stuff that we think of when we look at a deal because if you're on my acquisitions team, you bring us a deal and we're sitting in the deal room or the war room, we're going over deals, and I'm taking a look at that, you need to know, hey, what, like this thing has 80% four bedrooms in the property, and I'm going to be like, pass. So because just from a management standpoint, a maintenance issue, an expense issue, we won't be able to get those down and keep the high level of excellence that I want to have as it relates to like managing and being responsible and providing excellence for our tenants and our residents that live in our assets, right? So I wanted to share that because that is a part of our what was it? That's a part of our, for me, I call it my selection process, but our due diligence. Like when you look at a rent or when you look at a rent roll, you need to know like not only who's paying the occupancy, economic occupancy versus physical occupancy, but you also want to know the unit mix, ones, twos, threes, and in this case, fours. I've already had a deal like that in Ohio. It was a 40 unit deal that was all three bedrooms, one bathroom. And that was a management nightmare. So, anyways, I share that with you because I thought it was important to share. So, if you guys are thinking about doing a deal with me, just know that when we're looking at deals, we're thinking of all this stuff, and that's what you want. If you're a business owner, a doctor, a professional, a physician, a dentist, and you're investing your hard earned money, because you don't have the time to do this yourself. You want to know that somebody else is thinking about these things. And let me know in the comments. Did you even think about that? Most people like, yeah, I want a property and I want to have like, three bedrooms because I want families there. Like, do you really want families there? Because if you have three bedrooms and in this case, four bedrooms, who's your competition? It's not another apartment building. It's a house. And if people can move out of there and move into a house and pay a little bit more money, then they probably will. Because what's better, a four-bedroom apartment or a four-bedroom house? Don't know. You need to make those decisions because that's my job. How can we lose money? What can go wrong here? We lose a bunch of people, or they tear the place up, or we can't control the kids, or an element comes outside of the property because of the neighborhood and we can't figure out who did it because we have so many people there. That's a problem. So my job is to protect my investors. Your job is to invest with the right person and protect your thought process around that. And you need to have people who make decisions like the way that I make decisions. All right. So I appreciate you. Go to bell-capital.com, fill out or you can hit a button there that says either get started or invest now. Go fill out the stuff for our portal. You can take a look at our open fund, do your due diligence on the paperwork, what we do, why we do what we do, how we charge our fees, how you can get invested, what our minimums are, or You can hit a button that says schedule a call. You can get a conversation with myself or somebody on my investor relations team, and we will answer your questions about getting started with your investments or whatever it is that you have. All right. So I hope this shed some light because I really like to share with you guys what I'm doing and why I do what I do decision wise. So let me know what you guys need. Have a great day today. Let's get after it. Boom.